All right, we're live again. I lost the queue of all the questions. I'm sorry. The last video was going. I don't know what happened. I think we're live again. Okay, we're mid talk, and I think a prospective, I don't know who it was, a tenant or someone reached out and crashed my stream because I do it from my phone, and so yeah, it just it crashed. I don't know. So I tried titling it slightly different to see if it would go live. It says here, so I don't know if like now it's canceled the old stream. I don't know how this is gonna work. We just had like 40 people live on that stream and it crashed. And that is why, screw you, Apple, screw you. It's time for a new iPhone. But no, seriously, what happened was I'm on my phone right now. And so I had like, I think it was like a realtor called me and then like 5 other people kept calling me and it crashed the app because people were texting and calling me while I was live streaming. So yeah, I lost that. He has a cute little unicorn. I was thinking in the topic of what do you do in a recession that I answered already in the first half of this stream, which was titled like when the market is cool, or is the market cooling, and then what do you do? Yeah, that's kind of cute. The unicorn strategy. If you had a question, by the way, that I didn't answer before, just jump it in the bottom. I saw some like stuff about cash and keeping money in cash on your Manulife One account. That can make sense. Like if you have a mortgage product and you can use like a HELOC to store your cash there, that's smart. I do the same thing. I park my cash on my mortgage, and so any free cash that I have sits there. Not a bad deal at all. At least you're getting a basic return on your money. Do I want to have so much cash that my house is paid off? No, bad idea. You don't really want your house paid off. It's actually, the numbers don't really work in your favor for that. So yeah. When does it make sense to move your property to a corporation? It doesn't necessarily ever make sense to move your property to a corporation. I can see it making sense to have properties in an incorporation after you get to like 30 or 40 properties. But if you have like 10 or less, don't even bother. If you have really high income, maybe it'd be the exact same to put it in a corp. Like there'd be no material difference other than you're doing, because you have accounting fees and like setup fees and all this crap, and there's no extra savings. Like here in Canada, the rental income is taxed at the highest marginal bracket on every dollar in a corp. So it's the same as if you already earn $250,000 a year in your personal individual tax return. So don't buy properties in a corp. Worse financing, worse insurance costs, higher administrative and legal fees. There's not a huge advantage to buying in a corp in Canada. Even liability, like you pierce the corporate veil and you're done. So it's not even a huge liability protection either that I've seen. I don't know. If you're super paranoid, you can set up a corp. You gotta stream your computer, bro. Yeah, we had the stream on the computer, but remember we were having some glitches with the stream on the computer? I think what I need is just a new phone. Like it's time for a new phone. This phone has had its heyday. I go through like 1 to 2 batteries a day. I'm active on social media and I'm active on like texting and calling, that I burn through my phone battery pretty quick. And I think I've worn through most of this phone's life in a short order, like in a short amount of time. We'll keep this stream relatively short. We're already getting pretty late. If I missed your question, hopefully someone like go over to the other stream and like leave a comment and be like, part 2 of the stream continues on this other video over here. Do that for me, someone. Okay. I basically got DDoSed 100%. Like when I get texted and called by a whole bunch of people who know better, who know I'm live streaming every Wednesday, but they always forget, and they always, I swear to God, before every live stream, I'll have like 3 friends of mine text me, and like a bunch of people just started graping my phone with requests right before my live stream. And like, you all know who you are if you end up watching this video after the fact. And it's like you forget that it's Wednesday every single time. All the shit hits the fan right at the worst time. And it's like an hour before I'm about to go live, I get tasked with like a bunch of like issues. So don't do that. Don't be that person that rapes my phone before the live stream every single Wednesday. Maybe because it's like Wednesday. Wednesday's a hump day and it's a hard day, so everything gets kind of thrown in. My question was about America getting financing in Canada. Any way around welcome tax? I don't know what welcome tax is. You have to explain what that is. I know that there is no foreign buyers tax in London currently. In Toronto there is, but in London there's no foreign buyers tax. So certain markets don't have that foreign buyer's tax. Financing perspective, I think if you're not a resident of Canada, you can still buy with 30%. Like I have an investor who's not from Canada. They've had success at, I think it was 25% down or 30% down. They were able to get mortgages no problem. So you can still invest if you're not a Canadian. That's not an issue at all, really. It's like logistically a little bit more difficult, but that's about it. Okay. Mike, sorry I didn't give enough details, but the crawl space isn't a dirt crawl space. It's kind of like a tiny basement for the furnace, not water tank, that has that musty smell. The spray foam will still solve most of that musty smell. You could, if you're worried about it, and the walls are kind of small. It's not as expensive as spraying a whole basement. It's like spraying half a basement because the walls wouldn't be, I would assume, full height. So it would be more cost effective. Is it really an issue? I don't know. Does anyone go down there? Like for any purpose? Is the smell coming upstairs? If no one goes down there ever and there's no issue, and you don't see any water damage, it's just a musty basement. There are things you can do to remediate that. There's like concrobium sprays you can spray that'll kill the smell and stuff, but why go through the effort if it's a non-issue? So, I don't know. New secondhand phone required. Yeah, tell you what, if someone wants to super chat me $400, or no, don't super chat me because YouTube will take like $100 and something of that. That's insane. If someone wants to email transfer me or give me money to buy a new phone, I am happy to get a new phone for YouTube. Do I want to front the money for my volunteer? Not really. If someone wants to pay for a used iPhone 8 for like, you probably score a used iPhone 8 for like $300 and donate that to the cause, cool. I'd be happy to have an iPhone 8 to stream with. I'm using like a 7 right now, and this one's at its end of life. I'm pretty sure it's like clogged full of all the crap I do. I got like 10,000 pictures and videos, and I'm on social media all the time. I burn through my phones quick. Let's be honest here. I gotta do bath time soon, guys. I gotta do bath time. I have 4 more minutes until I have to go do bath time with my daughter. Okay, how much is too much in cash in the bank? 1K, 5K, 10K. I consider 1,000 a rounding error. Like if I had $1,000 in my account, to me that's nothing. That's not even a bill payment. So I would say like 5,000 is reasonable. Like it's barely cash in my opinion, but it depends on how much you have. Like my net worth is in the millions, right? So $1,000 is nothing to me. But to someone who doesn't have any money, I would say if you had like half your net worth in cash and your whole net worth is $12,000 and you had 6,000 of it in cash, you could probably put that to better work. So it's all relative to your spending levels, to how much you have, all that kind of stuff. To how, like, depending on your spending level determines your emergency fund, right? Like if you're spending at a rate of $1,000 a month, then $3,000 or $6,000 is 3 or 6 months living expenses. But if you're spending at a rate of $10,000 a month, then you need like 60 grand just to cover your living expenses for like 5-6 months. So it's all relative to the spending. Do you have a time limit to pull out money on a refi once the property is appraised? Tommy, I think appraisals are good for, I had one where it took us like 90 days and it was no problem. I've never tested that limit though. I know when you buy a property, sometimes if you buy it and finance it and then try to refinance it, sometimes it's a 6-month seasoning. But that's not been the case. Like the last one I just talked to the broker and they said it's on 2 deals now. They've said there's no seasoning period. There is no seasoning period. So there may not be a seasoning period. And if you switch banks, there's no seasoning period. So this whole thing, we have to wait like 6 or 8 months to BRRRR. Not a thing if you know what you're doing. But some banks maybe are still requiring the seasoning period. We have to wait a holding period before you can refinance. So you can't do 2 refinances super quick together, which is only a problem if you're BRRRing or flipping to yourself. But yeah, I don't know. Because typically property appreciates in value, right? So if you locked in an appraisal while it was still, like the weather was still good, like you're saying, you get the highest appraisal possible and then go and pull the money out later in the fall. Yeah, conceivably that would work. I don't see why that wouldn't work, especially if it was like 90 days. Like if you did an August appraisal when it's warm and then like mid to end of August and then pull the money out in November or something. Yeah, I wouldn't see that being an issue. Should you get, I know the rate hold, I only think, the rate holds on mortgages are 120 days. So that'd probably be the max you could go with some brokers. Should you get a tenant out prior to selling a condo? How bad is it to market occurred? Should you sell a property vacant? Yes. I think it adds a lot of value in most cases to have a vacant property. No one wants to inherit tenants, especially other people's place tenants. I specifically like to look for vacant properties because I don't want to deal with it. But it depends. If it's an investment property, people want to see, they just want to see that there's rental income coming in stable. So some investors prefer to see tenanted properties. It just depends. JP34, you got the question because you did the super chat. The $20 super chat awards you this question. Hey Mike, question about principal residence that are duplexes or triplexes. Example, if you own a 2,500 square foot home, 1,500 square foot main floor, 1,000 in the basement, how does the principal tax gains exemption work? It's a great question. So my understanding of the rule for what is your primary residence tax-free on sale, right? So there's no capital gains tax in the house that you live in, that you have lived in the whole time that's yours, plus 1 year. So if you didn't live in it for 1 year, you can get the 1+ year. That's how the equation's written. But if you occupy 50% of the property and it's a legal duplex, call it 50, I guess in that case it's 1,400 and 1,000. So you're like 60-40, something like that. So 60%'s you, 40%'s the tenant. The CRA rules that 60% of the property is tax-free on sale and 40% is capital gains taxed. That's why I don't like, yeah, I'm coming shortly. That's why I don't like duplexes as your primary residence. I prefer to own a single family house that maybe has a couple of rooms or something, but a legal duplex on your primary residence, don't do it. Everyone's like, oh, I'm gonna make my place where I live, like put my apartment suite and make it a legal duplex. Don't do that. It's gonna cost you in taxes. Keep it all open. In fact, go down into your other unit on occasion and like occupy that space. In all of my situations actually, I went down and like lived and I like occupy my other unit. I often am known to do that in my last place, in this place, in the place before that even I did that. So I like to occupy all of my house. And so I'll go down and make friends with my tenants and like hang out down there and they'll be like roommates more than anything else. And that ensures that I get mostly tax-free upon sale, right? Because I occupy the space. That's important. So if you don't occupy the space, then yeah. And Jonas says 2 minutes, answer the questions faster. True. Grading downspouts, eavesdrops, overflowing. Yes, find the source of the leak. I know what he's saying now. So 99 millis, it's that's true. Oftentimes, most of the water leaks come from poor grading and drainage. Like if you could just get your grade like this towards your house, so build it up against your house, you have to throw dirt against your house and create a slope away, and then you get your eaves troughs with the big O tubes away from all the downspouts away from your house, that'll solve 99% of all basement leaks. Most basement leaks are solvable with that and a can of can seal. Can seal caulking you can put against cracks in your foundation and stuff like that. Works great, I swear by the product. Yeah, and there's like the 20% time we have to actually can epoxy inject your foundation and stuff, but that's very rare, probably less than 20%, probably like 10% of like foundation leaks are that, 90% are solvable relatively cheaply. Happy to share the input. Happy to help. Okay, I think I got all the questions here. Thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. And sorry that I jumped off the old stream. I don't know what happened to that stream, if it'll be saved, what will end up happening with that, because my phone did crash, or the YouTube app did crash. But thank you so much for watching, everyone. Welcome to another, what is this? Probably like, what would you say, guys? This is probably episode 90. We gotta be on like episode 80 or 90 probably. I've removed like one episode. I deleted one episode. We had a glitch in the episode that got deleted, but most of them are up for playback, which is cool. Yeah, I think we're like 90 episodes or something darn close to that. We're gonna get like the Bigger Pockets type podcast. We're gonna have like hundreds of episodes of the Mike Rosehart Show every single week consistently. I won't give up on you guys. You don't give up on me. If there's anyone watching the replay who wants to splurge or find a way to barter with me on a iPhone 8 for YouTube so I can do streams with a newer phone, a new used phone, I'd be down for that bartering. Like if someone wants me to come by their property and like help them plan out their basement renovation, I've done that before for people, or just like walk through their property and give them like, I got like five duplex secondary dwelling unit conversions on the docket in the next like 2 months. So I'm gonna actually brand myself as like the secondary dwelling expert, I guess, over the next like year probably. If I do a bunch more of them, then I'll be like doing more than most people do. So I'll be an expert in that sense. So maybe I'll be for hire to do that. And instead of being for hire, I'll just like barter with people or just like do it for free. And then if people want to donate, that'd be cool too. Anyway, so have a good night, everyone. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate it more than you guys know. The following and the energy and all of that you guys put out there, it makes my time feel like it's well spent and worth it. If it ever gets to a point where no one watches and no one cares, then I'll just go back to like being retired and I won't do the streams. But it seems for now we're getting good viewership, people are enjoying it, and so yeah, happy to keep providing the content if you guys are keep enjoying it. So if you are enjoying it and you're watching the playback right now, smash that like button, and I'll see you in the comments. I read every comment.